So while I'm here, I'm now going to look at some of the colours that I might use. Now we have, let me just zoom in a bit there, lots of green, and the water is always a reflection of what's above and also what's below. And you can see it is a sort of a greeny colour, but it's also going towards browns because it's not very clear water. Canals seldom are, a bit muddy. So that's going to be interesting to do. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to mix the colours while I'm here and hold up and make a comparison. Now we could reach for sap green, but what I've decided to do, I mean, you have your green charts, hopefully a lot of you. What I'm going to do, because it's a nice bright day and I want to get some of that brightness in my painting, I'm going to reach for some cadmium. Let's have a look at that. And then I am going to add a bit of sap green. No, that's too limey. Far too limey. So I tried another one, which is Sennelier yellow with sap green. Which gives me a better colour. And what you can do then to keep your colours cohesive, so you're not going off at tangents, is if you want to go darker, you can add more sap green. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am mixing about with my colours on the paper, the same colour of the paper that I'm going to use. Now let's rinse that water brush off a little bit, but I'm going to go darker. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some raw umber. Because of the colour of the canal. And here along there I actually used that and I held it up. Let's see if I can do it to show you. I don't know whether you can quite see that, but held it up to see if it was in fact getting towards the colour of the water in the canal. And if I want to go any darker, what I did was I went to good old Payne's Grey. So this again is part of your problem solving process before you start actually painting. It's a question of getting everything sorted before you start. See, I'm just squeezing some of the water out of that brush, partly to rinse the brush, but also you can blend your paints as you go. So when I come to the canal, I'm going to be able to do all sorts of interesting things to get those colours and the reflections in the water, but I will do that as a separate lesson. So I hope that helps you considerably with your preparation work when you are out and about on plein air, as we call it. It's always good just to keep your things with you so that you can make little notes. I'm going to make a note there of what the colours were that I mixed, because when I get back I might have lunch and then I think, oh, what did I use there? So it's always good to keep these little records, and this is where your sketchbook and your little artist pad comes in very useful.